about? Let me see where you're in. I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes, it will. Yes, it will. Everybody, that's Al Green. And he's singing. He ain't singing, he's singing. Okay? And he's singing a change is gonna come. Let's see if we can be a part of that change. Ladies and gentlemen, I have quite a few people who are going into court. Ain't never been in the court before, but they're going into court and speaking on their own behalf, being as nervous as they can possibly be, but they survived. They were afraid. Hold on, y'all. There's been times when I thought I wouldn't last for long. No. Woo! I think I'm able. Sorry, it's that song. That's Al Green, and a change gonna come. He is live at, I believe it's the Lincoln Auditorium. That's that one, okay? Live at the Lincoln Auditorium, because he's done the song many other times, but he ain't done it like that. You know what I'm saying? That was a special performance because he put some little umph in it. All right, let's get back to y'all. Ladies and gentlemen, the system originally wasn't designed to make you afraid. The system was designed to give you access, but the system was designed to make persons of color afraid. And we're not talking about the people who refer to themselves as brown people. I've always had no appreciation for individuals calling themselves brown people, as if black is a color. You know, you'll say, well, white isn't a color, and clear isn't a color. Well, ladies and gentlemen, black is not a color. Don't you understand? Black means devoid of light. You don't believe me? Go look it up. That's why they call it a black hole. What, you think they made up that name just to be making it up? I've always had a problem with the word black people. There is no such thing. Well, he's so black, he's almost blurple. Ladies and gentlemen, no matter how much you twist it and turn it, okay, if anything, those individuals are closer to brown than anything else. Now, I understand tan and brown is the same thing, but, you know, let's get real. So stop letting them identify you, and stop using identifiers to describe who you are as a person. Okay, there's a group of people called the Toccoa people, and they are Native Americans, believe it or not. When you do your research on these Toccoans, at least I believe I'm pronouncing the name right. Okay, I believe I is. But anyway, when you do your research on them, look at their skin color. Look at how diverse they are. Some of them actually look Caucasian. Well, if only you guys knew where the word Caucasian comes from, the Caucasus Mountains and so on and so forth. Okay, there is no such thing as white people. Go ahead. Show me a person who's white, and I'll show you a person lying about a person. There's no such thing as a white person. That's just something somebody created when they started assigning color attributes to people. Before there was white, they started calling people, pay attention, Negroes. Now, you know, Negro does not mean black. It does not come from the word negra. Hold on now. They will lie to you and tell you the word Negro comes from negra. The word Negro does not come from negra. The word Negro meant uncivilized. It meant savage. Pay attention. Uncivilized and savage. The same as they've always done, changing words over the decades. Changing the meaning. And there have been people out there like me when they were first starting to change these words up who were complaining, that's not what it means. And they control the media. They control the books. And so all you got to do is keep saying something over and over and over again. What? Where do you think the Trinity comes from? Nobody believed in the Trinity at first. Go ahead. All of Christ's disciples, they didn't believe in no Trinity. Well, Thomas said, my Lord and my God. Yes, he wasn't saying my Lord and the Almighty God. Okay, you heard the scripture in Psalms that says all of you are gods. The word God doesn't just attribute to the supreme being. It attributes to everyone who exercises authority over another. That's what the word God means. Superior or supreme. Now, hold on now. Not the almighty supreme being. Okay? Because that's why his name is not God. God is a descriptor. Now, if Thomas believed Jesus was God, remember, he was called Doubting Thomas because he said, unless I see and unless I place my hands, I will not believe. Thomas knew that you couldn't kill God. So if he thought Jesus was God, then he would be sitting up there believing in a fallacy. Because God can't be resurrected because he can't die. But no, they separated. They separated. Okay, no. Let's hold on to that. They separated. All right, they separated. Okay, where does it say that at? No. Just show me where it says it at. Where's that prophecy that they were going to separate? And then come back together as if it was a family reunion. Go ahead. No. Shut up. Just show it to me. Don't explain it to me. Show it to me. Certainly something that monumental is definitely got to be written, prophesied, so that everybody could talk about it. So, originally, even with the Trinity, it was not preached. It's just several units, these little segregated groups, was professing those type of beliefs. Okay? And then, after hundreds of years, there's this idiot named Constantine. And that idiot, you remember King Constantine? That idiot is the one who did that. Who brought in the cross and the Trinity and eventually Christmas being on December 25th. What? The pagans and the Christians were fighting against each other. They had to give them something to do together. This took years. This didn't happen overnight. This took decades and centuries. The same thing with individuals believing that the original Indians were redskins. Okay? There was no red skin. The original Indian they referred to as copper colored. Copper and red are nowhere near the same thing. Well, it's copper reddish. It's reddish like. No, it's not reddish like. Lord have mercy. Sorry. That is a big, huge controversy right there where people believe in that copper-colored races was referring to the current people they refer to as redskins. Again, it took 100 years to do that one. Look, I am that person who will tell you in a split second, the one thing you have to do is always go to the foundation. Because the foundation is the beginning of everything. Without a foundation, it doesn't exist. Do you understand? Even God has a foundation. His foundation is love. Don't believe me? Go check it out. Everything has a foundation. The only thing that doesn't have a foundation is a lie. or a non-truth. There is no foundation to a lie or a non-truth. They have to add to it and make it up as they go along. I'm so glad you're paying attention. A lot of people wouldn't get that. They wouldn't even understand what I was just saying. Now, let's get back to these individuals going to court and speaking for themselves and, handling their business. Ladies and gentlemen, I know that many of you are having a difficult time because you're spending all that time worrying and trying to put the right stuff on the record and trying to say the right stuff because you just think there's got to be a chance. And then they wear you down. They make you realize there's no hope. And you don't even get it, even at that point. Their job is to take away your hope. See, they can't have you fighting and being successful. Ladies and gentlemen, I have fought City Hall, and I continue to fight City Hall because some idiot said you can't fight City Hall and win. I heard that as a child, and I said, okay, fine, I accept your challenge, and I'm not joking. Why do you think I'm always going after these public servants? Because I heard that statement as a child that you can't fight City Hall. Okay, City Hall ain't got no stupid power. City Hall, that's the weakest part of government. Go ahead. A city, a town, a village is the weakest part of government. Go ahead, go check it out. So why is it that you can't fight City Hall? Well, you can't fight the government. Of course you can fight the power. You gotta fight the powers that be. I'm sorry, public enemy, PE. Ladies and gentlemen, of course you can fight the power. Especially when the power is wrong. When they have done something wrong. Of course you can fight them. So, those of you, I hope you're paying attention. It's very important. Those of you who are having to go to court and you got a foreclosure issue, the courts remove your stay when you go to bankruptcy court. What you don't know is that they cannot remove your stay unless they can prove you've acted in bad faith. They can't say you acted in bad faith. They must provide proof that you've acted in bad faith. I got an individual right now. This individual, they have dismissed his bankruptcy. They removed the stay. Sorry, they haven't dismissed the bankruptcy. They're trying to dismiss the bankruptcy, but the judge removed the stay. Said he was basing it on 2 prior bankruptcy filings. Well, those prior bankruptcy filings, one was because they claim he didn't pay the filing fee. We appealed that junk. And the second one is they said he didn't show up to a hearing. Say what? We asked for reconsideration. The judge ignored us. So I just had him refile. Why? Because those are procedural dismissals. That's not an abuse of process. Because pro se litigants, their pleadings are supposed to be liberally construed. They're to be held to a less stringent standard than that of an attorney. They've been preaching that for way too many years. So, as I told the individual, and I want y'all to pay attention, don't you dare worry. You're not filing bankruptcy again? Nope. Your brother gonna file bankruptcy. And then after your brother files bankruptcy, since your father lives in the house with y'all, then he gonna file bankruptcy. And every adult in that house is gonna file bankruptcy and an adversarial proceeding. We may not be able to stop these idiots from ignoring us, but what they can't do is stop us from exercising our right to use the bankruptcy court. And if you just follow procedure, do everything you're supposed to do, that's going to take about 9 months. And then they got to, by law, start all over again. Okay? Attorneys have been using that tactic for years. Ladies and gentlemen, I want y'all to see how good it sounds to me. Come on, Al.
Take me on home.
Al, I'm going to take you home. You going to take me home, Al? Let's take this on home, Al. There's no greater time. Ladies and gentlemen, Al Jarreau, the late, great Al Jarreau. This is how we roll, okay? Well, anyway, attorneys have been using that tactic for decades, keeping people in their home. However, it is a temporary fix, but it's a unique fix, especially if there's more than one person living in the home. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the way you're going to get them is put a demand on the record under the principles of UCC, Article 9, Section 210. You want a comprehensive accounting of every transaction, because you're entitled to that. And after you get your comprehensive accounting of every transaction, you're asking also for a list of all of the collaterals associated with this loan. That's where they lose. Pay attention. That's where they lose. Because the note was collateralized. You follow me? And your property is collateral. They have to list all the collateral. That's where they lose. Okay, which one you want? Well, no, you're going to get the house because that's what you said you wanted. You get the house. Now give me the other collateral. We even, Steven. And now I'm going to liquidate the other one because that pledge collateral is worth almost 900 times the value of your house. Y'all need to pay attention. All right? Because that's what I'm doing with all of my people who are facing foreclosure, including the group that I'll be talking to tomorrow in their consult. I ain't got time to be playing with these fools no more. Like I told you, they say they can't be beat. Man, I'm about to beat them as if they stole something from my newborn baby. Okay? They gonna learn their lesson because they gonna listen to somebody by the time I get finished, because I ain't got time to be playing games with these idiots. And y'all don't have time to be playing games with them neither. See, I didn't say neither, I said neither. Okay? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm about to let y'all go. It feels so good. Been around before, but this feels so good. Yeah. Let me tell you something. I've been around before, but this feels so good. Ladies and gentlemen, gotta go. Arrivederci.